Hi, I'm Julia, and if you have ever stared at a GMAT critical reasoning question and thought, well, technically a few of these could work, this video is for you. Today, we're tackling strengthen the argument questions, which are one of the most common and deceptively tricky types that you will see on test day. I'm going to show you a quick and reliable method for finding the right answer. Let's look at a very common track answer style, an answer that strengthens a premise. That is not your job. In these questions, your mission is to support the conclusion by addressing the assumptions. A strengthened answer makes the conclusion more likely to be true than the argument itself would. It doesn't have to guarantee that the conclusion will happen. It's not proving the conclusion 100%. It just has to make it more likely than the argument alone. So your goal is to find the piece of information that supports the conclusion best or that removes a plausible doubt. Here is a TTP example that I'm going to use to demonstrate this trap answer type. Approximately 65 million years ago, Earth experienced the largest mass extinction of plant and animal species in its history. Researchers hypothesized that the cause of that mass extinction was the impact, approximately 65 million years ago, of one of the largest asteroids ever to strike Earth. To support their hypothesis, they point to the fact that the impact sent enormous amounts of soot and debris into Earth's atmosphere, suddenly reducing the amount of sunlight reaching Earth, which of the following, if true, most strongly supports the researchers' hypothesis. So the conclusion we're trying to support is that the cause of this particular mass extinction was this large asteroid impacting Earth around the same time. Let's look through our choices. A. Only approximately 25% of plant and animal species survived the largest mass extinction on Earth. This choice just confirms the premise about Earth experiencing the largest mass extinction, which is right here. So choice A doesn't offer any new helpful information. B. Fossil records indicate that species that required very little sunlight to live did not go extinct at the time of the asteroid impact. We know that there was a mass extinction, and we know that there was an asteroid impact that kicked up soot everywhere and suddenly cut the amount of sunlight that was reaching Earth. But we don't have anything directly connecting those two events. This choice gives us a reason to believe that the lack of sunlight did indeed cause the mass extinction. So that's our best one so far. C. Evidence suggests that the asteroid that impacted Earth approximately 65 million years ago was approximately 81 kilometers wide, about as wide as the country of Luxembourg is long. This also confirms a premise, the one about how the asteroid was large. So we already know that. Choice C is not offering any new helpful information. Choice D. Approximately 65 million years ago, massive volcanoes in what is now India began erupting, sending large quantities of soot and debris into Earth's atmosphere. This choice weakens the argument by offering another plausible explanation, these volcanoes in what is now India, so it definitely does not strengthen the argument. And E. Even relatively small amounts of soot or debris in the atmosphere can cause detectable changes in the amount of sunlight that reaches Earth's surface. This confirms the premise about how these enormous amounts of soot and debris suddenly reduce the amount of sunlight reaching Earth, but we already know that they suddenly reduce the amount of sunlight reaching Earth, so that is not helpful. Our best answer is, remember, good strengthen the argument answers usually address a logical gap, add new relevant information, and don't just restate what you already know. So you want to avoid irrelevant facts, extreme or emotional language unless it is supported, or statements that strengthen or explain premises but don't do anything for your conclusion. Practice this method until it's second nature, and you will be knocking out strengthen questions like a pro. Until next time.